Souls, mental wellness for African American men and boys. Before we get started, today's topic is part 2 of our discussion on children of incarcerated parents, and I have a special guest in studio, my man Keith Johnson. But before we get to that, there's a couple of things I want to plug. Don't forget, you can check me out at Beauregard Therapy, located in Colton, California. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. And you can check me out on Psychology Today, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. And also don't forget our weekly men's group, which is Hearts of Men, Mental Wellness for African American Men Moving Forward Together. This group has been growing and it is now weekly. And so you could check us out every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. It is for Black men only. And then also, it's just a safe space for Black men to talk about the different things that affect us on a daily basis. So once again, welcome back to the show, Indestructible Souls. So I wanted to recap real quick our first episode in relation to children of incarcerated parents. Just to recap, as we know that children, Black children, are 6 times more likely to have a parent who's been incarcerated. And so when we talk about the effects of mass incarceration and things like that, we are mostly affected by it, meaning Black children, Black families. And mass incarceration has, for all intents and purposes, have decimated the Black family. And we're still trying to put it back together. And so I just want to recap some of the things that I talked about in the first show, which is when we have one or more parents that are incarcerated, it increases our dropout rates. Some of our kids will have more misbehaviors in school. It promotes poverty. A lot of our kids get diagnosed with ADHD and things like that when we have an incarcerated parent. But I'm not going to go into too much of it. You can check out the show from 2 weeks ago. And I want to get to our special guest, who I am happy and really appreciative that he agreed to be a part of this, because this is a vulnerable topic, but it's a real topic in terms of really talking about how growing up with a parent who's in and out of prison has affected your childhood. We talk about childhood trauma on this show all the time, so we're going to get to it. I have my man Keith Johnson, who's joining me today, and we're going to get into a very serious topic. And so he has graciously agreed to talk about his experience, to talk about not only his childhood experience, but also his experience as an adult by doing time himself, and how it affects his kids and how it affects his family and where he's at today. So we're going to get into it right now. And once again, welcome, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate being here. Like you said, I don't think I ever really expected to do anything like this or to be opening up.
Okay.
Life is pretty much a sore subject for me, but
I appreciate you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable, but do you have a buzzing in your ear?
I do.
Okay, let me see what that's about. Hold on. All of a sudden we got this buzzing. If we was in church, they would say that's the devil.
Right.
The devil don't want the topic to get out.
Not this one.
So hold on.
Might change live.
Do you still hear it? Hold on a second. Touch your microphone cord and see if it's at the bottom.
Oh no, it's gone. It's gone. Nope, it's still.
Okay. Just check the levels real quick. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. We're going to make it work.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's get into it. Let's get into yet again, I appreciate you. We're going to be here for as long as it takes. And as I said in the intro, you know, you have a unique experience in the sense that you grew up with a parent who was in and out of prison, and eventually, you know, you did some time yourself. But where I want to start was, what was it like for you when your mom went to prison for the first time?
Well, let's start with jail, because me personally, I don't consider it the same thing. So
Okay.
we're gonna start with jail because you have to start doing the county fart and all that before you end up obviously advancing to a higher level of the system.
Gotcha.
So, first of all, the drugs in the early 80s is kind of what started everything.
Mm.
And when you, at the time, let's just say I'm 13, 14, 15, and you don't understand how it works. Drugs was new to everybody in California at this time.
Right.
But my mom decided to dabble, you know.
Okay.
This is something we didn't know. I never knew. So, you know, right at this point, we all learning on the fly.
Mm.
You know, my dad was a country guy from Mississippi. You know, so this is nothing he can say or communicate about, because what did he know about drugs coming from the country?
Right.
This is a city thing. This is Chicago, LA, stuff like that. So,
right.
And my mother's really from Chicago, so she know big cities already.
Okay.
So being in another big city was right up her alley. The country pretty much slowed her down. She had me at 16.
Mm.
We came to California, you know, when I was 1. So I pretty much been raised. I was only born in Mississippi.
Right.
The drugs is what started it, you know. And I think I found out when I was like maybe 14. It was just a lot of stuff going on at home.
So in the 80s, when, you know, when our parents, when parents started getting hooked on the crack with the whole crack epidemic, how did that affect you in terms of, you know, stigma, and just your mom is now a part of that?
You know, it was, since it was so new and she hid it real well, because we continued to play sports, me and my brother. I had a brother 13 months behind me, so we continued to play sports, and she was a teen mom. She hid it real well, even from us. Like I said, I really didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. I just knew it was just odd things happening around the house. You know, they get into a lot of arguments and this, you know, we up late at night, but I'm the oldest out of 3. So I pretty much, like, I took care of my brother because he needed it.
Right.
And I tried to shield him as much as possible with whatever was going on for grown up business. You know, you're always told to stand down.
Right.
Or get out there. You don't get in our business. You know, and you know, you live by that. You know, because you don't want to get a whooping for one. You know, otherwise, you know, I'm protecting my little brother. You know, that's all I got, you know, so. But all the arguments they was getting in, but, you know, I still just never knew. It was just crazy. You know, that I think about it back then, and there was a lot of stuff that was going on. I can explain it now because I know why it was happening. Right. But at that time, you just didn't. And you would never want to believe that your parents are doing something like that.
Right. Was it confusing for you?
Oh, it was very, very confusing. Because it was a time where I didn't know nobody else that had done it or whatever. And growing up in Linwood, California, I mean, we right next door to Compton. I mean, it's like brothers right there. You know? So it was difficult. Well, once I found out, I mean, it's my mom. I mean, I'm her firstborn, you know, and I can say now that I got used, and I just never knew. Everything I did was out of love.
And when you say you got used, what do you mean by that?
Because my mom knew. My mom always had an agenda. Okay. You know, and when people say drugs takes over a person, it's not the person, it's the drug. You wonder, like, really? Or you got plans already. Gotcha. You know, and my pops trusted me. Okay. I'm talking about with money. with his checking account, everything. My pop, I used to go to the credit union for my pop to deposit his check.
Right.
And my mom knew this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So did she try to manipulate that?
Oh, ain't no try. She did. I done gave it to her before because it's my mom. Well, your dad said, let me take it this time. And, you know, I be like, he didn't tell me that, but I mean, it's my mom. Yeah, do your thing.
Right.
It's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. It's my mom. I can do whatever you ask me, tell me to do. But you're the parent. You know what I mean? That's what we did. So I just saw my mom steal from him. That's how I learned how to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm saying that hurt. And I never really thought at the time that the thing that I learned was actually from her. Because I done saw you in his pants pocket on payday.
Right.
And I used to wonder, like, what are you doing? Oh, let me try that.
I think that's interesting that you said at the time you learned it from her, but you didn't realize.
No, I didn't know. I was just like, it was no big deal. He won't miss because he never said anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This guy, I don't know. I don't know how he made it. Say that. I don't know how he hid it for so long, how he put up with it so long. Because understanding now, I don't know if I could have did something like that. I don't know if I could have put up with that ever. Right. She was good.
But you think he did it out of love, out of care and concern?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who want to be known as a person with a drug addict wife or whatever, and you're trying to live you got two boys to look after also at the time. You know, and it was difficult. And then probably even thinking about it now, it's probably more difficult for him. You know, and I had a lot of resentment towards him.
Why resentment?
Because I felt like he didn't say anything. He didn't give us a chance to make some decisions of our own, even though we was kids. But what if I didn't want to be here around that?
Right.
You know, you ain't never say, this is what's happening. You know, if I can do something else or rather anything, I don't want to be around this and this is what's happening, you know, but no, I got not physically abused, but mentally, I think I got abused because to wake up and see and hear somebody in your room like it's a burglar, and you look up, it's your mama.
Right.
What are you looking for? Because you know my daddy gave me some money. Now I need to find it. Where is it? It was crazy. It was just, you know, and like I say, it was mind blowing. I'm gonna say that.
How did it affect you in other ways in terms of like school and out in the neighborhood and things like that?
You know, I always said that us as black people, we are really, really great actors, and we just not on screen because these are things that you never. You don't want nobody to know nothing like this,
right?
Because it's who mom steals from them, and you go, man, you know, mom's in my room. Like, no, I got the best mom in the world, and everybody gonna think that, whether it's whatever. Like I said, I'm still playing Pop Warner. You know, we doing what we do every day. You know what I mean? Regardless of what happened last night, what happened to midnight. Right. They don't know I've been up all night. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Or she been missing for a couple of days, and she come back on Saturday when we about to play the game.
Right.
Yeah, where you come from? All of a sudden. And, you know, we all acting like everything's good.
Everything's okay.
My pops was a coach. I mean, he got other kids to think about or whatever, and you know what I mean, coaching staff or whatever, you know. So it was a lot, but like I said, we just made it work. And
you know, you brought up a point, and I talk about it a lot. Is kids go to school, especially if they have a parent who's in prison or on drugs, and they go to school, and the teachers don't realize you didn't been up all night,
man,
and you've been through, but they expect you to sit down and learn.
Exactly, and I'm falling asleep. Right. I'm not gonna tell you why. All right, this is happening. I'll take the punishment first.
Right.
Because you can't
make you tell people what's going on.
Because you already been taught. You let anything out this house. You better not never tell what's going on in. Right. You know what I mean? You don't do that. You know what I mean? And that's how we learn from a young age about telling is wrong. They can tell you all day, but no. Right. You'll never know what's going on in our residence because it's not the way It works around here. And you don't want to be looked at differently or nothing like that. But it's not your business anyway about what's going on in our home.
Did you make it through elementary school and high school?
I did. I did. You know, actually, I did really good. I just changed the way I looked at things. And I know I had a little brother, you know, and then in 78, my sister was born. And when she came, I was in protective mode.
Gotcha.
Because my pops worked at night. My pop was at the postal office in 1970. So he worked at night. So my pop slept all day. And he sleep like a rock. We can do anything. He ain't. But you know, you can't wake him up. Because, man, I'm telling you, you gonna pay. You know, and when she came, you know, I combed hair, you know, because she wasn't there. She was gone. I was like, man. It came to a point in time, it didn't bother us for her not being there because now we came to expect it. It just wasn't there.
You became used to it.
Yeah, it's just the way it worked.
Right.
When if you was there, fine. If you wasn't, you know, I know I had to get up and do my thing and get her to school and everything.
Here's a question related to that. Was it more chaotic when she came back? And here's why I asked that is because for me growing up as a kid, my father was in and out of prison, but it was more peaceful when he was gone. So it got to the point when, and I'm talking when we were younger, when he would be home, that adjustment period before he was out back in the streets, to me, the house was more chaotic.
Yeah, so they arguing and everything.
Right. Yeah. So when he left, when he would go, as we would say, when he would go back home, because staying out was vacation.
Right, exactly.
So it was more peaceful when he was gone.
Of course it was. Because she always stirred something up. She had his credit card. She might max those out, and you know. But don't get me wrong, Mom did some pretty good stuff for her.
Okay.
You know, it was wrong, but you come home with a gang of clothes and stuff. You're like, dang, where you get this stuff from?
Right.
Not knowing that my pops is in God knows how much debt at this point.
Right.
Because you maxing out everything. He can't cancel fast enough. Because she can order a new one. All she needs is his name. She got everything on her. She order a new one. And go do the same thing. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, she be missing. And gone. But like, yeah, you're right. It was definitely more peaceful. Because we didn't have to worry about that. Like, you know what I mean? But, I mean, she cooked, you know, and we did our chores and everything. But it just got to a point where in the mid-'80s, it just got really, really bad. It was a lot of stuff happening with the car. She coming over here and getting in trouble in Compton. And they busted windows off the car. We don't know why. My pops is up chasing her. It got really, really chaotic.
Right.
At a lot of points in time. And like I said, my sole thing was to protect my little brother and my little sister because I don't know how to explain it. They're not going to understand it.
Right.
You know, and I can't really explain it myself because I'm still trying to grasp what's going on with this woman. Like,
So you just survived.
That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's it. And like I said, he has nothing for me to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. You know what I mean? Like I said, I grew up really, really early. I've been driving since I was 12.
Oh wow!
He taught me how to drive. I drove a stick, a Volkswagen. So this is how I was able. He signed his check, and I take it to the credit union.
Wow!
I was going all the way downtown LA. Took one street, Alameda. He always told me, you don't have to do nothing else. I never drove the freeway or nothing. Right there and right back. And he knew how much time it took, traffic or what. And I did that for him every 2 weeks.
Wow!
You know what
at what age did your mom start getting going to jail?
Baby, the first time she went probably when I was 14. I didn't know. She sent word to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I was her contact on everything. What went on in the house when she wasn't there, how he doing. She asked me all this kind of stuff. And I just never thought nothing of it. Like, and I never really asked her where she went, where she be. I never asked her anything.
Right.
Because I was still a kid, and I knew that wasn't my place. And I didn't want to feel like that I was, I guess I could say, in her business, which you made your business our business because of the way you were acting or whatever, and had the houses up in the uproar. And like you said, to a good point where I was just, sometimes just happy when there just wasn't no stuff going on. Like, man, you can relax finally. Like, man, get your bearings, you know what I mean? So, but the first time she went, she sent word to me. And one of her friends took me. She said, "We're going." Anybody know? Yeah, I was like, wow. I was just like, I don't even know why she was there. I was just like, man, like, it's like behind the glass. Like, they took me up there. I seen her. She talked to me. You know, don't worry, I'll be out soon. I just had to talk to you and tell you that I'm okay, and just let everybody know I'll be fine.
Who took you? Who took you to see her?
I don't even know who the person was. It was just one of her friend girls. Wow. And the only thing, always the last thing, don't tell your dad. So I hid stuff from him. Right. You know, I mean, but I'm talking about this the man who took care of me, who fed me, who made sure I was clothed and everything, and I always kept stuff from him because of her. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I look back,
how did that weigh on you holding those secrets?
Oh man, it was. And it's, you know what? It's amazing that I was able to do that. I think because I didn't think it was wrong.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It was my mom. You know, I don't even know what else to say. You know what I mean? And I did whatever she wanted me to do. And I never thought I would be I didn't think I would ever do that against my dad.
Gotcha.
But we had a good relationship, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. Because he was a good coach, he was a good person and everything, but I don't know. I mean, we black. It wasn't like, son, come here. It wasn't no hug, and it wasn't no I love you every night, you know. I mean, I know he did because he provided for me.
Right.
So I knew in my heart that he loved me, but I can't say when he told me that. I can't say. I can never. And those are the type of things you just never talk about. You just know. You know what I mean? And we got to a point too.
Black fathers showed their love by going to work, making money.
That's it. That's it. That's all I have to say. You know, and I never felt like, I don't know. I didn't have nothing against him. You know what? I can't even explain why I took her side like that. But it was just my mom, and it seemed like she just needed me. And I never realized it was always me because she never messed with my brother or my sister like that, ever. It was always only me.
You think it's because you was the oldest?
Oh, I know it was.
Okay.
And I think she knew that she had a hold on me.
Right. But here's the thing, and this happens a lot, is that children, because your mom is going through things with the substance abuse, with the drug addiction, and no matter what bad they do, we always feel like we got to protect that parent.
For sure. Definitely.
So even though you're going against your dad, it's because you feel like you got to protect your mom.
Exactly.
And so it becomes confusing because you know some of the things she's asking you to do is wrong, but you're going to protect your mom.
Exactly.
That's a tough position for kids to be in.
Oh man, I was in that position a lot. My partner went on vacation. His brother got sick in Alaska, and he went for like a week. If you need anything, I'm gonna leave you these checks. You can go to the store. They didn't take her 24 hours to get it.
Wow.
Man, here you go. She already knew.
Right.
I'm thinking, my mom, why would you tell her that I got it? Don't tell her I got it.
Right.
Because she gonna come get it. You know, so that was a bad deal right there too. When he came back now.
What's the longest stretch of time your mom's done?
That's a hard question. Because not to jump all the way to the end because it's ongoing.
Right. No, I got it.
This has been ongoing. At that time, it was probably 3-4 months, maybe. Because I think realistically, she probably leave for longer than that at time. and without being in jail. So
got you.
It's different.
Right.
Because at those times, I didn't know if you was in jail or not. I only figured I really thought you wasn't because you didn't reach out and say, like, come see me or whatever.
Right.
Usually, once you get caught, you're going to reach out to me and have somebody come pick me up and like, can you bring my son up here to visit me or something like that? And that's usually what happens. So, the civil grant or whatever. I mean, I've been up there many times, many different times, whether it was for warrants or whatever. Right. There was always something because you wasn't paying anything.
Right.
So, and at that time, they would let you do the time to get it over with. So, yeah, just to have me to come up there and see, like, I mean, I probably could find it by heart.
Did you ever fear that she was going to get hurt or harmed? Did that ever worry you as a kid?
Surprisingly, no. I always felt like she knew what she was doing.
Okay. Right
or wrong. Because she was feisty like that. She wasn't scary. She was bold. She was, I'm talking about scrappy, up in your face, and especially if it was a woman, she had no problem getting it in with you, man. And I didn't see nobody messing with her, like, right. You know what I mean? And she had a gift for gab. I think she can get out of pretty much anything if she wanted to, because the way she did me, ain't no way she can't do that with somebody else, young or not. So, yeah, she was good at what she was good. That's all I can say. She was good, and I've seen a lot. She was good, really, really good.
So let's fast forward to now. You're in high school. What are things like that?
Oh man, high school was boy. Really, I need people to understand that not only using drugs is an addiction.
Right.
If you sell drugs and you like the money like that, that's also an addiction.
Absolutely.
And obviously I fell into that.
Okay.
Because the first time me personally really like seeing it, I probably was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
When I physically seen cocaine with my own eyes, and I had a few acquaintances that was from Compton going to Linwood though.
Okay.
My brother was gang banging and they had this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and he was like, man, can I use the bathroom? Like I say, my father's a hard sleeper. Mm-hmm. So if I bring partners in early in the morning, he ain't tripping. As long as I'm out there to go to school, he know that time I'm out the house.
Right.
They come in, do what they got to do, I'm like, dang. So one day I just asked him, why you keep going in the bathroom? And then he told me. He was like, man, my brother be giving me this. So he showed me the white. He's like, yeah, I chop it up. He said, so since you let me come do it over here, all the crumbs that I get, I'll leave it in the bag and you can have it. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
He was like, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm just telling you. Since you let me use your bathroom, I was just like, all right. So, at this time, weed was coming in, Ziploc bags and all that. So that's what he was leaving it in.
Right.
So at a point in time, I'm talking about I had like an eighth of crumbs. I just had it. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, mind you,
right.
I have a mom who's on drugs and happened to see it one day.
Wow.
Then I found out all the information I needed to know, how to sell it and everything.
So your mom taught you how to sell it? Wow.
Took me to some of her friends' house. But obviously she asked for some first. I was like, what you going to do with this?
Right.
Because I don't know what you're on. So I don't know. I was like, she was like, let me just, let me get the big one. Let me get the big one. Ooh. I'm like, all right. But she really got me because she said, I can give you some money for this. Oh, that sparked my interest.
Right.
I be trying to save my clothes. Pops ain't buying clothes every week.
Right.
So I'm like, ooh, I could come up. So she was like, I was like, yeah. So she took that piece, came back, left, came back, brought me $10.
Right.
I was like, just that quick. She was like, yeah. And it's more where it came from. Oh, man. Yeah, we was friends. Oh, yeah. We not mother and son no more. Right. We're friends.
So how do you feel about, what do you think about that? Here it is, your mom obviously have her drug addiction, mm-hmm. and then now you guys become friends and partners in crime.
Man, boy, you know, that's a whole nother show, man. To tell you the truth, yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Okay.
Because later in life, that's exactly what happened. We really became partners in crime.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and she was like my God, my life. Mm. I can move to any neighborhood. Like, mama, go Casey. Mm. See what they got, how good it is, how big it is, how strong it is, and let me know. And I'm gonna outdo everybody.
Right.
And that's what we did. We moved from city to city, getting it in.
Wow.
And she would go tell me what's going on, who is who, mm-hmm. who got the big money, who got this, who got that, what corner they be on, all that. We did everything. It was crazy.
So you're talking, you started selling drugs in sophomore year?
Yeah, you could say that because I only had to deal with, I really didn't have to deal with nobody because she did it.
Okay.
Now, obviously a person who uses whatever you give them not going to be what it is when she gets to them, but she going to make sure they gave me my money. Right, that's the only thing I was worried about. If I give you this and you say it's going to be $20, when you come back, I need you to have $20. Right. Or you're not going to get no more. So now it becomes, now that I know, I got a hold on you also because I know what you want and I got what you want. And as long as he keep doing what he's doing, I'm going to be okay. So when I do something for you, you got to make sure it's right for me also. So now this is the part where I'm learning. You know, sophomore, junior, senior, it's like.
Are you still going to school at this time?
Yeah, I'm still going to school. No matter what. I got a little, man, I got weed, I got everything. I got little joints. Pops got his stuff. I'm taking that. Mm-hmm. She rolls it up for me and all that. She was I'm telling you. But I was got to a point where she was doing whatever I asked also. So now we using each other at this point. You know, but I'm still, like I say, it's my mom. I don't want nothing to happen to her. I don't want to get hurt. Right. But now we talking about we bringing that little money now. And I am. You know, I'm able to buy my own school clothes. But I'm hiding. I'm hiding everything from my dad and my brother and my sister. Now, I would get them stuff too because I don't need them asking where it's coming from. Right. But I was hiding mine because we had a back house. I would hide mine back there. All my stuff, all my new stuff, they go in the back. And I just leave early in the morning, go get dressed, and then I leave. I come back, put everything back up, put on some different clothes and come in the house. Like, so this is where it's at. Right. You know, and at this time, I mean, Compton Swap Meet was booming. I was up there every week doing something, you know. But yeah, it was. And then she left. She left. I don't even know if I went to the prom. I don't even know if she was there then. But I went 11th and 12th grade.
Okay. But
she was really, by 87, she was gone.
And when you say she left, where was she at?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
Because we was still in Linwood. We was in transition. But getting rid of the house. And then I had an auntie that passed. So my pops, we went to our house in L.A. and stayed there and kept it till they sold it. So we was just like moving around. Right. And Mom's was just out there. But every now and then she just pop up. Oh. But we older now. Right. You know, you talking about 86, 87, I'm out of school. My brother, I'm taking them to school. My pop's like, you ain't gonna go to no job or whatever. You taking them to school every morning. Right. Because now we in LA, but we going to Linwood still. So they both still going to school. Okay. And I'm making sure that happens while he rests, because he's still working at night. Right. So now he's still trusting.
Right. So when did things turn for you?
For the bad?
Well,
because I left home at 18.
Okay.
Because, like I said, me and Pops I felt like it was just two kings in the residence. This just wasn't working for me.
Right.
And if it's yours and I don't have no say so,
right.
I need to try to get my own. You know, but I did start working and I still like dabbled for a few years. You know, like I said, when mom was gone, I had no leverage.
Okay.
So I wasn't going out there. That didn't last that long. You know, once I was doing that, didn't last that long. Until, 88, 89? I think I was just going through the motions at that time. Like I said, she was in and out, and we fell out for like 5 years. I didn't talk to her.
Okay.
So she was just out there, like, on Skid Row, and you would hear people say something every now and then. Well, I think I seen your mom. Like, I'm like that. Whatever. Or we have a function at my auntie house in L.A. She'll pop up.
Okay.
Like, man, y'all better check your wallet, because if she's going, something is missing. Oh, yeah. But it was known, and the family knew. Right. So nobody wanted to be around her. I mean, we had meetings. We had intervention.
Wow.
We got into, I'm talking about the kids. You know, like my cousin, them, you know, my brother. You know, my brother couldn't deal with it. We got in many fights over her.
And for what? In what
because he just couldn't deal with it. He didn't want to mess with her no more. And I'm trying to explain to him, but still, mama.
Right.
No matter what, we can't go against her. You can't side with nobody else against her.
Right.
Cousin or not, no, we can't. We don't put her in front of everybody and ridicule her like, no. We're not.
So even then, you still protected
her. Oh my God, yeah, I did.
Right.
I'm telling you, I defended this woman to the end, man. And it was hard, man. But nobody liked her no more. She did so much wrong to people. It was difficult. And my sister never had a relationship. It was hard.
What's your relationship like now with your siblings?
With mine? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's hard.
We could turn the page. We talk about that next.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
Right.
You know, I get emotional because I made sure they went to school. They both went to college. And I knew I wasn't. But I made sure they did.
Gotcha.
And in 92, man, he was going pro. My brother got a 5-year scholarship at Fresno State in 1988. They killed him. Wow. On his way to Hawaii to play the Senior Bowl. I had a homie in Hawaii, was playing for Hawaii, waiting on my brother to come. He called me. Why he not coming? I said, he not coming, man. The worst day of my life. My best friend. Seriously. My best friend. 13 months support. Wow. They shot him down, man. A superstar. The Fresno State. Melvin Johnson. He was a junior. What was just mind blowing. Because I looked like my father twin. Yeah. And he was a junior.
Okay.
It was mind blowing. But yeah, it was bad.
That happened in LA?
It happened in Fresno.
Okay.
Even worse. And, you know, I'm a hog, man. You know, I don't never have did the emotional thing. That's the only thing probably that can get me emotional is just thinking about that. There was nothing I could do to help, to get revenge. It was nothing I could do, man.
Right.
Nothing. And I fought my dad for a lot of years. And I shouldn't have, but I did.
Why'd you blame your dad?
I don't know, man, because it always seemed like he tried to like keep us apart. You know, all my brothers and sisters wanted to. They just wanted to see me. You know, but I was just out there in them streets, man. He He didn't want that. Mm-hmm. But I would never let them turn out like that ever, man. And he wanted to. He was like, man, I was like, no. Ain't no drugs for you. It's nothing. You do the right thing always. And I knew if something went wrong, that I would be the cause of it.
Right.
Because I'll always be the cause of it. I'll always take the blame.
So you always take the hit?
Always. This is my sibling. They never have to feel it. Ever.
Right.
Ever. I always took it. Even from him, I take that for them. As long as they went to school and did what they supposed to, that's all I wanted. And they did that, both of them. Both went to college. My sister went to Jackson State and everything. Got a degree, everything. He did exactly what I wanted to do. So, that was the hardest day of my life. And mom being on drugs, who you think had to go tell her? Wow. But now I got to search for her to tell her that her son is dead.
Wow. What was that experience?
Boy. Would nobody else do it but me. I'm probably the only one that could find her in. You know, at this time I had moved. I moved out, and he sent my sister to Mississippi. She was 10. You know, he was going to college. She was leaving. So I told him, I'm not staying. He had a new girl. No, it was time for everybody to make their move. And I told him I'm leaving. And he gave me the vote, that same vote right. He gave me something. I left. I had a baby in 87.
Okay.
So I picked her up, picked the baby up. We got in the car. I didn't have nowhere to go. But I couldn't stay there.
Right.
I was sending my sister away. My brother was leaving. There was nothing there for me. That's all I was there. We was always arguing. We was always butting in. It was just a bad deal, man. I didn't like him. And I don't even know why. But I know why now because we were so much alike. Okay. That's why. And believe it or not, I wanted to please him. And I know I couldn't. What I was doing, he would never thought about doing. My father had never been in jail before, ever, in his life.
Do you feel like he should have stepped up more and helped protect the family?
Right now, no, because I don't know what he could have done.
Gotcha.
Because he's not in the life. There's nothing he could do. There's nothing he could have said. He couldn't stop it. What she was doing, he could not stop it at all. It was nothing. I don't know if I want him to try more, but I think there was nothing he could have done. Nothing. He did what he's supposed to do. He made sure we was okay.
Gotcha.
And he provided for us. You know, but we talked. I had to. Because I blamed him for so much and I was wrong. And I told him I didn't deserve nothing. I did.
Why do you say that? Why do you feel like you didn't deserve it?
Because
Explain that to me.
I didn't do it right. I blamed him for stuff I shouldn't have blamed him for. And he was a good man. He stayed through all that. And he took care of us. He cooked, he cleaned, he did everything we needed. Wasn't the best at everything, but he did. And once I caught that time, I realized how wrong I was.
How old were you when you caught your case?
25, man. 4 kids later at 25 years old. I was about to do 16 years. I had never been in prison. I've been in the county jail so many times. Laughing the whole time. All the wrong I did. I never in my life thought I'd go to prison. That's the bad thing about being young. You just don't feel like you're doing nothing wrong.
Feel invincible.
Oh, my God. But when they close that cell door, man, it's an awful sound. They brought the charges up, man, in 1995. I was like,
so you got caught up in the whole sentencing, mass incarceration.
oh man, I fought it. I went to trial, everything for 18 months, and I couldn't. So I was being charged with attempted murder, man. Police. I just couldn't believe it. They was talking about me. And he came to court. He was there. And I swear to God, it looked like he aged 10 years.
Wow.
That really hurt me. Like, I put this much strain and threat on this man that took care of me the best he could for 18 years, man. And I didn't appreciate it. No, and that's probably how I became a man. I fought a good fight, going to trial and everything, and I just couldn't. They offered me 30 years of life, and I just couldn't see me saying yes to that.
Right.
So, and you get in there and you don't have no pay, or you don't do. You always gonna hear people talking.
Right.
You know, people talk how you, and you gonna listen. You don't know anything. You don't know nothing about the law. So, do the best you can. He ain't had no money. All he can do is believe what I tell him. And all the stuff they said, he had no idea. Without no idea. It hurt me.
But he showed up.
He did.
Right.
I never brought nothing to his doorstep. No problem, no nothing. Everything stayed away. So all the money I benefit from it and everything. I helped out as much as I can. I always hit my brother, always hit my sister. They always knew they had something coming in. That's what I do. And to me, it made me think that I was doing good. Because even though I was out there doing wrong, I'm selling this stuff, you know, and being profitable from it, I thought if I use it for a good cause, it wasn't that bad, you know. And that's what I did. Anybody asked me, anybody wanted to borrow, I gave it to them. Whether I got it back or not, I still gave it to them.
So when you went away, you did how much time?
Man. They offered me 30 years to life. And I fought it for 18 years. I went to trial. And they found me not guilty. But it was a twist. But they found me guilty on a lesser charge. Wow. Something they never offered me, no time on, no nothing. I don't even know how they come up with it. But since they couldn't get me on what they wanted, they found a loophole. And they got me assault with a deadly weapon. I got attempted murder. I didn't have two weapons, I had one. Find me guilty, not guilty, that's the weapon. How I get assault with a deadly weapon? He used the same gun though, so I don't get it. I never got it. But they gave me 16 years with 85%. So I had to do 14. It's my first time ever in prison.
And that's your first time?
I don't know nobody that's been in prison or nothing at this point. And if they have been, I didn't know about it. I didn't have nobody to say, this is what you need to be doing when you go. I didn't have that. This was strictly first thing basis. Like, wow.
Where'd you do your time in?
I started in Delano. Delano was new at this time. It was a reception center. And I stayed there for like almost 3 months. Usually don't take that long, but it did. I don't know why. From there, I went to level 4, which is one of the highest levels, to Selena Valley, a brand new prison. This was like January 1997. Man, talking about the aisle. Wow. Fighting for control, everything going on. That was just hard. Man, it was hard.
And at this time, by the time you go away, you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Tell me how that affected your relationship with